All right. Well, while I wait for some of you guys to join, as you may or may not be able to see, it is really coming down pretty good out there. It's snowing. We're supposed to get about a foot here in upstate New York. I do like the snow. It's really pretty to look at. Being in a wheelchair, it's tougher to get around. Um, Also, I'll tell you, it's not. I thought it was easy just to do these videos and these people that put videos up all the time. It really isn't. A lot of work goes into these videos. Just for what I put out, I put in probably 10 hours per video, per 20 minutes of video. Got multiple pages and notes and all kinds of stuff, and I try to crunch it for you guys to keep it somewhat interesting, and so hopefully somebody's going to get something from it. So that said, this video for whatever reason disappeared off my list, so I'm redoing it right now for you. And if any of you guys missed it, then here it is again. If you didn't and you liked it, and you can watch it now also. So please share and like, and remember that all these people on YouTube, especially the people that do way better videos, I'm learning, but that have more graphics and things to put in it and music, and I'm learning how to do all this. I need to learn all that. But a lot goes into these videos, so just remember that, and like, subscribe, share these videos, please. Help us to grow our audiences. And I'm just beginning, so I can use all the help and tips for music to put into the beginnings of videos, and maybe a caricature if somebody can draw, and I'll put that in as the opening. Whatever ideas you have. All right, but let's get started. So I'm redoing this video today. This was back number 3 in our series, which would have been the beginning of the year 2022. And it's called Are You Successful? And really, only you can answer that. And, we look into society, we look at other people, we look at our role models. College tells us, this is what it means to be successful. Shows like The Voice and the American Idol and these, Dancing with the Stars show us what it means to be successful. You got all kinds of things coming at you, telling you how to, get the ultimate love of your life and win the jackpot and make thousands of dollars in an hour, and just so much things that come at us and tell us, what success looks like. How do you define success? Have you ever sat back? I know I'm going to be 51 next month. March 6th, I'll be 51. Man, time has flown. But, the older you get, you sit back and you look back over your years and like, what have I really done with my time here? And if you've ever had that thought, have I really been successful in life? Would I consider my life to be worthwhile, a success? Hopefully after this quick video, you guys will be able to kind of look at things a little bit and determine that for yourselves. So, I guess the first thing is, how do you define success? Well, the dictionary, Oxford defines success as the good or bad outcome of an undertaking. I saw another definition was the outcome of your accomplishments, for things that you have, for the goals that you have achieved. So it's, have you achieved this goal, this goal, this goal? Would you consider that to be successful? Or do you need to do a couple more before? Okay, so, and we touched on a little bit in the introduction a minute ago, but, what do you consider to be successful and success? Is it a nice car, a big house, a good-looking wife, good-looking husband? Or does it mean a lot of money in the bank? Or does it mean being famous or being good looking yourself? What is it? Large family, small family? What do you consider having a job? However, how do you define that? You can define it for yourself. And if I didn't include anything, but you have a different thing, put it in the comments below. And I'll say that a couple times because I'm going to touch on a few things here. Well, when we look, the University of Sacramento did a study at the end of 2018, going into 19, and found that 18% of people are satisfied in their lives. I mean, that's really sad in America. And I imagine over the last couple of years with what we've had going on, we're in 2022 now, things have probably, I would say they've gotten worse, even though statistics show that they're about the same as that. So, I mean, it just shows that people generally are not satisfied. And that's that as a counselor, and that's what I went to college for. I kind of, that doesn't sit good with me. People should be satisfied with their time here. We're not guaranteed a tomorrow, the Bible says. And so we need to make the most of our lives. And then it comes back to the other thing I touched on in the intro, which is, how do you measure success? There's objective and subjective means of measuring. Objective, you're looking out at other things. You're looking at, when I was starting out in high school, I started out playing drums and writing songs. And back then, for lack of a better word, okay, I'll just say this. My greatest influence was Lars Ulrich on drums for the band Metallica. Their lyrics were good. They were really good lyrics. They dealt with things in life, regular life, and political things, especially early on. And that's the stuff I liked. But I really looked up to Lars' drumming because he was just like a regular guy who played good rock music. So I really looked up to him, and I watched him, and I saw, this is what he was doing to get to where I wanted to do that. I said, he's got the girl, the big house. People know him everywhere he goes. He tours the world. He's famous. He's got nice cars. He stays in nice hotels. And I'm like, that's really making it. And that's what I thought. That's what that was. That's subjective. You're looking out at something else. Objective, you're looking at yourself. You're sitting back and taking the stock of yourself and saying, this is what I've done. Would I consider this to be successful? And, when I started out in high school, all I wanted to do was play shows. And I knew that someday I wanted to write my own music. And 30 years later, I've done that. So I would consider myself, if I died right now, to be a success. There's a few steps that you can take. If you're saying, I'm not satisfied, but I would like to be in life, you can take these 5 steps, okay? The first thing is, what is it that you feel that you haven't yet accomplished? What is the one thing, the undertaking that you haven't done yet, that you wanted to do with your life before you went into eternity? Okay, so write that down. Next, think about, okay, now what do I need to do to get there? Step 2 is write down small steps. These will become your objectives and goals. Your overall goal. So let's say when I was in high school, well, what I have left, I would like to record another album. And as long as I have breath, I would like to go as far as I can. I would like to play bigger shows and maybe get a little more known and, reach more people. But I'm just going to say record another album. What do I need to do to record another album? So start listing the things. Write songs. Put them together. Have enough good material. Okay, I've done this so far. And then now I'm going to have to get some people to play on it. So is that achievable? Yeah, these are small steps, and you want to do that. You want to list each small step. Then the third one is actually write them down and organize them so that you're doing everything in order so that you can check it off as you do them. 4, after some time goes by, go back, give it a little bit of time when you see that, things are starting to come together and you're doing the things that you needed to do. Assess it, look and say, did I meet this one, check them off. If there's things you haven't done, do them. If you've done them all, go to step 5 and say, okay, am I about to accomplish this, or what do I need to do? Reevaluate. Maybe you need to say, the goal is a little too big for right now. Maybe we need a shorter term goal. Something smaller that's easily attainable. I got a cold, sorry guys. But that I can do. And then you can check these things off when you're doing them and you're checking them off. So you've done that. And reevaluate. If it's a too big of a goal or not realistic for right now, it could be a long range goal, but do a smaller set of goals to get to that goal. Then you break those down into objectives and then check off the objectives as you write them down and organize them. And eventually, you're either going to say, look, this is something that is doable, or I need to maybe try something different. Maybe instead of writing my own album, maybe I need to find somebody who needs a drummer to play on their album so I can get my name on an album and I can do some studio work, but at the same time, I don't have to worry about doing all the work and writing and whatever else because it's just not coming together. That's fine. Okay? But everybody measures success differently. I was in a band. I won't mention names or anything because he's really big on copyrights and stuff. I got pulled into playing a band when we lived out in the Midwest in Kentucky. Great band, great. The guy wrote really good songs. What he would do, though, is he would constantly ask, do you think I'm successful? Do you think this is worthwhile? Is this work? Is me writing songs and playing them work? Or should I be punching in and out at 9 to 5 every day? And I said, really, only you can decide that for yourself. But anything you do is work. Sitting around watching TV, eating bonbons all day, not work. Writing books, writing songs, working in the band. He was very artistic. He would draw constantly and design things for the band. Flyers. He was constantly doing little things to give out, promoting the band. I mean, he could do all these things. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? In my estimation, I would say you're successful. You've got a good album, a couple albums worth of songs. The problem with him is that he wouldn't take them anywhere. He had one that was definitely, he could be a one-hit wonder writing one song all the way to the bank. He'd be set for life for one of the songs that he did. And he just never took it there. And a lot of his close people in his close circle, told him that. It's a one really good song. A really good rock and roll hit that it sounds like it could have come out of the 80s. Really good lyric. And I don't know, he would get gigs for his bands. They'd play with some big names. They'd shake some hands. We played some good stages. He didn't pay his band members, so really, he didn't keep people. And he would pull out right when he gets to the Golden Gate. He's got his hand almost there, and he would wreck it. So, he's going to be chasing his tail probably for the rest of his life unless he goes and does it. It irritates me because he writes really good songs. To sit on good songs and not bring them to the fullest that they can become, it's just, anyway. Okay, then, there's my dad. My dad was a musician. He played every instrument, self-taught. He started a band in the 70s called Moondance. It was a cover band. Did 70s music, 80s music, because he was just on that cusp. He was still playing at the beginning of the 80s, and then we moved to Arizona, and then that kind of broke up in 82, so, excuse me. But he was comfortable. Back then, Best Western had their hotels. They had rooms for bands, and the bands could really tour the country just playing Best Western stages. He was content doing that. He never wrote an original song that I know of. He never told me about it, and he played all the time at home. Right up until he died at 42 with cancer. He was home playing his guitar, sitting on his Fender tube amp from the 70s, and just played his songs. Loved the Beatles, had the Beatles complete, played it. And he was in his just smiling and, singing his songs and playing his guitar, and he was cool with that. He loved having his band. Moondance did good. Loved it. My Uncle Kevin toured with Justice McBride and Weather Report in the 80s and into the 90s, I believe. I think he was on Children at Play album. And, for him, he really enjoyed that. He did great with that. For me, I want to go as far as I can, and I figure, if God gives me another day and breath, I'm not done yet. Now, I've accomplished all the things that I said in high school that I wanted to do. I wanted to play live shows. I wanted to hang with some big names and, you know, ingratiate myself with them, I guess you could say. I wanted to be friends with them, and I've got some good people in my circle. Um, I wouldn't use them to get anywhere. It's nice to have met some people that influenced me, shake some hands, exchange some music. Um, but I've recorded 3 CDs. I've played in every kind of band that you can think of, multiple years at a time. I'm not one that just jumps from band to band. I stick it out until the band breaks up. Araya's been going since high school. That's my band. You can look up ARAYAISHERE. Araya is here on Reverb Nation and on Facebook. And we also have Araya YouTube, which I put some of the songs in this playlist you can check out. And you can go check out more too if you want. But I said I wanted to play. I wanted to play the drums. Taught myself, started putting the music on and jamming along to the radio. I played, the hardest gig I think I've ever done was probably, I played 5 years in a Lutheran band at a church. And I'll tell you, church music is really difficult for drums. I've been a rock drummer, and I love 80s rock is my favorite. 70s, 80s. A little bit of the grunge back in the early 90s, like Nirvana, I really liked. So, yeah, anyway. So, I've met my goals. I've written songs. I've played my songs live. I've recorded in the studio. I recorded buying my own equipment and recording 2 of the albums in my home studio. Written songs, played in cover bands. I played classic rock. I played heavy metal. I played doom metal. Played some country. Blues, a little bit of jazz, not too much. I've been a drum teacher. I've been in Disabled Drummers Association magazine, their monthly write-ups. I've been in twice. And so, I mean, yeah, I've done things. And, you got to look at opportunities that we have also. And this is where I'm going to close. Because I think we can do things that help our level of success and accomplishment. My local music store, Big Apple, here in central New York and New Hartford. I'm in Clinton, which is just outside of it. But he has been really cool over the years. When somebody doesn't have something, he will give equipment. And Mark has been really cool. They've also had drum clinics over the years for drummers, where famous drummers will come in, do a clinic, teach you, and I was able to hang with some of these after and ask questions. And they were really cool to me. They really taught me a lot of things in my earlier years, especially. But Dean Castronovo and Frank Briggs and Bobby Rock, and there's just been so many. Dom Familaro. But, I mean, you have to keep going. You have to take opportunities as they come along, shake hands, learn from people, hang with people. And just, every day that you wake up means you can still do something. And we have to think like that. There's opportunities don't stop until we stop breathing. And we got to take the opportunities as they come. And when we get hit something like we've had over the last couple of years, opportunities are less and less, but we got to look for them and use time wisely. I'm still practicing. I'm playing my bass. I've learned a lot on the bass. And I've written a lot on the bass, which is why I started playing that a few years back. But over the last couple of years, when we've been with this pandemic deal, I've learned a couple hundred songs on bass. And so I'll just keep learning. I'll keep writing. I've got my own stuff that I play. There's just, when you got time, you grow and you study. But you know what? I'm going to stop here because start dabbling into other videos. But, you have to determine, ask yourself, are you successful? If you are, put in your comments, what you think. Why are you successful? If you said no to that, why don't you think you're successful? And tell us and ask questions. I'll be happy to answer questions. Please subscribe because I'm really trying to grow this. I'm going to stick this out. They say you got to do it for a while. I would see that, my audience was not growing quickly and I would stop doing YouTube. They said, no, you have to give it time. You have to grow on people. So I'm going to do that. That said, please, if you like this video, if you got anything from it, let me know what you got from the video. Let me know what should have been covered in the video. Let me know what I can do to make videos better for you guys. And I'll leave it at that. And then I will see you guys on, let's see, today is Saturday is the next one. We're doing Wednesdays and Saturdays every week. So I'll see you then. God bless you guys.